low inflation, going to be very soon even lower. But we'll get some of the prices down a little bit, which will bring them down to a new low.
How much of the tab is being picked up by Americans?
I think very little. I mean, I really think very little. If you look at it, and when you add the trillions of dollars that our country is making, when you add the fact that I'll be giving back $2,000 or so to middle-income people, low-income people, everybody but the rich will be giving $2,000 back, and you add that in. When you add the fact that
The audio is super low. My bad. Not me. Not me. It's them.
Add the fact that when China was threatening to us in terms of rare earths, I was able to solve it just by putting tariffs on China, and we made a deal a week later. When you add all of the benefits, the single greatest thing we have right now is the use of tariffs.
Paul coming in. Paul coming in.
For years,
Paul coming in.
Against us, and I think whether you call them tariffs or anything else, if you didn't use them, you really would have an unguarded disaster on your hands.
Well, those $2,000 payments, will that be inflationary? Because previously Republicans have said that sending money to people, like under Biden, could
Well, the
spike
difference
inflation.
is this is money earned as opposed to money that was made up. You know, that money was made up. Biden gave like the Inflation Reduction Act, which did not reduce inflation, and it wasn't meant to, and they admitted it was a phony name. But they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a fake deal called the Inflation Reduction Act. That was made up money. When I pay people $2,000 each for low and moderate income and middle income people, everybody but the rich will get this. That's not made up, that's real money. That comes from other countries, yeah.
Speaking of China, since you made the deal, since you struck the deal with them, has the Chinese agreed to actually purchase any soybeans? Have they locked in any soybean purchases?
Yeah, and they're in the process of doing it. We spoke to them today. They're in the process of doing not only a little bit, but they'll be doing a lot of soybean purchase.
Do you know when? In the spring? Or?
It's starting. Before then, I think before then.
Okay.
It's starting.
Can you say who
They'll be
spoke
buying a lot of soybeans, but really, Jennifer, a lot of everything else too.
Can you say who you spoke with or who your team spoke with?
Top of the line.
Okay.
Just on the rebate checks, sir, how soon could Americans see those checks? Will that be
I'm
in time
barely
for
here.
holiday shopping?
No, not for this year. It'll be next year sometime.
Do you have a time frame? How
No,
many months?
sometime during the year, next year. It's a lot of money, but we've taken in a lot of money from tariffs. The tariffs allow us to give a dividend if we want to do that. Now, we're going to do a dividend, and we're also reducing debt. We have, because of Biden and others, we have 37 trillion in debt. So we're going to be doing a dividend, which people will enjoy and spend and do what they want. But we're also going to be reducing debt very
What
substantially.
if the Supreme Court rules against you, sir? Is there
Well,
any
then
plan
I'd have to do something else. We'll have to figure something else. That would be a very sad day for our country. We use, just today, I stopped a war. I won't go into which one, but you'll be able to figure it out.
Cambodia, Thailand?
But that was quick. You're very smart. Good, thank you. But just today, I stopped a war by the use of tariffs. Oftentimes, I'm able to do that. And if you think of the cost of war, just forget about death, which is number one, but the death within those countries. But that all comes to in one form or another, it all comes right back to us. I stopped the war just today through the use of tariffs, the threat of tariffs. If we didn't have that, other countries would use tariffs on us, and we would have no fair means of fighting back.
Is there confirmation in Cambodia, Thailand to stop them?
They're doing great.
Mr. President?
They were not doing great, and then, they had a conflict, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And I spoke to the prime ministers of both countries, and they're doing great. I think they're going to be fine.
Mr. President, what are you doing on healthcare subsidies? Obviously, people's ACA premiums
healthcare
going up soon.
subsidies is a good question. So, Obamacare, which is the Unaffordable Care Act, it is totally unaffordable. You see the kind of money the insurance companies are making. Hundreds of billions of dollars. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a relatively short period of time. What we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be recommending, not this, Obamacare is a disaster, far too expensive and lousy health care. We're going to give the money to the people to buy their own health care. And the kind of money that we give to the insurance companies is more than going to take care of it.
How
People
you
are going to be
do
able to
that?
buy their own health insurance, and it's going to be great health care, and they're going to get paid by the government. The government will be one of the greatest deals this country's ever made. So instead of giving it to insurance companies, big, fat, bloated insurance
Big
companies,
fat.
we're giving the money directly to the people to buy their own health care.
Won't Americans buy it from insurance companies?
Some may. I mean, they'll be negotiating prices. It's really free enterprise. They'll be, you can do it through an insurance company. You can also buy it direct. They have savings accounts. They have a lot of different ways of buying health care.
Another question. You guys ran an investigation today into people associated with Epstein,
Yeah.
including Reid Hoffman, a major Democratic donor.
Right.
What impact do you hope that kind of investigation could have on next year's
I don't
midterm?
know, but I heard they are appointing a U.S. attorney, and I hear a really good one to look into it. I hear Southern District is going to be looking at Jay Clayton, and he's a great man, a great attorney, and he's a highly respected, one of the most respected people in the country in terms of law and law enforcement. As you know, he headed up the SEC. He was the head of Sullivan and Cromwell for years. He's one of the most respected people in the country. He's been confirmed for the Southern District, and I heard Jay is going to be looking into it. Jay Clayton is
We
a
know
real-
Jay Clayton.
He's a real legal talent.
We know.
Very legitimate
Do you
person.
continue to believe that presidents should be able to order investigations?
Sure, I mean, I'm the chief law enforcement officer of the country. Not that I want to use that, but I am considered the chief law enforcement agent in the country, and I'm allowed to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I had nothing to do with that choice. As an example, that came from Pam Bondi from the DOJ. But you can't pick a better person than Jay Clayton. He's truly one of the most respected people in that world.
Have you ruled out
Are you tracking the Georgia RICO case at all? Did you see the news on that today?
Which one?
The Georgia case, the RICO case. Apparently, they're continuing with the investigation into you and your allies related to the 2020 election. Not tracking that?
You mean the Fannie Willis case?
I think so.
I can't imagine it. I thought that case was over. I was told that case was totally over.
Mr. President, have you ruled out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I haven't thought about it for months. Maybe I haven't thought about it at all. You're just asking me a
Why
question.
can't you rule it
But I
out?
don't talk about that. I don't rule it in or out. I don't even think about it.
On Epstein, sir, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Congresswoman, was on CBS News. She was talking about how the files should be released. We anticipate that a vote will happen in the House. I know you wrote about the investigation today.
I don't care about it, released or not. What I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's friends. This Reid Hoffman spent a lot of time on the island. I was never on his island. Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. You're going to have to look into his friends because if they're going to do that, and I think the perfect guy to do it would be Southern District, somebody like Jay Clayton. I understand that's who's been assigned.
But does the Congresswoman have a point, though?
You're ordering release of more files.
Does
Is there a
Marjorie
timeline
Taylor
on that?
Greene have a point?
Does she have a point, though?
I know nothing about her.
On the release of the files. All the files.
Well, they can have whatever they want. They already do. I think they have 50,000 pages already. Look, this is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat, and a couple of few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective. But this is a Democrat hoax to get away from the fact that they just lost the shutdown, and they've lost the elections. They've lost the big election, to me, in a record number. They lost the popular vote. They lost the swing states. They lost everything. I think it was 312 to 220 something. So this is a way of not talking about that. It's a hoax. This is no different than Russia. And it's headed up by Democrats and some very weak Republicans.
I was just wondering if you have a timeline
Very
for when you might release more of those files. Can I
Which ones? Which
Epstein.
Epstein.
Well, I don't know about those files. I know nothing about it, but I understand they released like 40 or 50,000 pages already, and nobody. I will say this: if they had anything, they would have used it before the election. Okay, I can't tell you what they put in since the election, but if they had anything, you don't think they would have used it before the election? They would have gladly used it before the election.
So speaking of the
It's a-
election,
Jennifer,
well, why were you, or why was your team encouraging Congresswoman Boebert and Congresswoman Mace to not pursue
Because
this?
we think it's bad to talk about it because it gets away from the subject of how well the Republicans are doing. We have the greatest economy. We have the largest investment ever made in our country's history. We have all of these great things happen. We have very little inflation, whereas he had record-setting, the biggest inflation in history. All of these things are good. And when you talk about the Epstein hoax, what happens is you're not talking about how well we've done.
Mr. President, on that subject,
That's the whole purpose behind them. They want to waste people's time, and some of the dumber Republicans like that.
Mr. President, on that subject, are we going to
But
see
it's mostly Democrats, by the way.
are we going to see more domestic travel from you as you try to sell that message? Are we going to see some rallies?
Domestic travel?
Yeah,
Well,
to
I
sell
wanna
your message.
spend time here. I just got back from a big trip, a very successful trip with China and with all the countries that I saw many countries over there, but we stopped in Malaysia, Japan, South Korea. It was a phenomenal trip. We had a great meeting with President Xi, who's a great leader, a great country actually, whether you like it or not. And China is a great country, amazing place. And Japan, amazing place. We stopped at tremendous countries with tremendous leaders, and we did really well. We brought back trillions of dollars in trade and other things.
But someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene would say you're spending too much time overseas. You're not spending enough time selling your domestic
So I
message.
heard that Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "Oh, gee, I'm spending too much time overseas." So let's say I don't meet with China. You know what's happened right now to Georgia, to every other state? They're not working because your magnets and your rare earths would have kicked in, and there wouldn't be a factory in the world that was working. If I didn't have a relationship overseas with China, with Japan, with South Korea, with all of them, Malaysia, I went to Malaysia, but visited many more countries than that. If we didn't do that, if we just stayed right here, you would right now have no factory anywhere in the world that would be working because of rare earth with China. Not only that, we made a deal with China. We take in billions and billions of dollars. We made a deal with Japan. We take in billions of dollars. We made a deal with South Korea. We're taking in billions and billions of dollars. If I would stay home, none of that would be happening. And by the way, I stay home 98% of the time. The last thing I want to do is travel 22 hours in an airplane, as nice as this plane is. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway. I mean, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
Will you
On
endorse someone
nuclear
to
testing,
oppose her?
sir, are you receiving any meetings about
We're going to have
concerns about
nuclear testing because other people test. We have other countries that test. We have more nuclear weapons than any other country. I'm the one that renovated them and built some, and I hated to do it, but I had no choice because they have it. We have more. Russia's second, and China is a distant third, but within 4 or 5 years, they're going to be up with us. What I would like to do is I would like to go denuclearization. In other words, where we have a meeting primarily of the top 3 to cut back on nuclear weapons. That would be a great thing.
How soon could the test take place, though?
Pretty soon. We'll do it pretty soon.
China, Russia, U.S.
We're number 1. Russia's number 2. China's number 3. They're catching up. They're quite a bit distant from us right now, but they'll catch us in 4 or 5 years.
Mr. President, can you
But
tell us?
I think the best thing would be if we denuclearize.
Mr. President, could you tell us why you needed to get an MRI? I understand that the results were good, but what was it for?
Because it's part of my physical. Getting an MRI
Physical.
is very standard. Well, you think I shouldn't have it? Other people
No,
get it.
typically an MRI
I had
is
an
some
MRI.
specific part of your body
Here's
they're
what the
scanning.
story is. I had an MRI. The doctor said it was the best result he has ever seen as a doctor. That's it.
Class.
I had an MRI as part of my standard yearly, or I think they do it every 2 years, but I have the physical every year, and the result was outstanding.
Was it your brain or
No,
your heart? Or...
I have no idea what they analyzed, but whatever they analyzed it well, and they said that I had as good a result as they've ever seen. Now, the other thing I took, as you know, a very advanced test on mental acuity, because I think a president should have to do that. And as you probably heard, I aced it. I got a perfect score. I got the highest score. I got a perfect score. And the only reason I took
Perfect
that
score.
is it's one subject, unlike Biden and others, that you can take off your plate.
A question on nuclear testing, just being very specific. Are you saying you want to explode a warhead? And
I don't want to tell you about that, but we will do nuclear testing like other countries do. We have more nuclear weapons than any other country, and we have to test.
Other countries are not exploding
Republicans took a
warheads.
hit in the last election. Do you think you'll get on the road for the next election?
Oh yeah, I'll be helping people. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be on the road helping people.
Would you be
It's very
open?
important. The midterms are very important.
Would you
And
be-
again, I think we should terminate the filibuster. Republicans should terminate the filibuster. The Democrats would do it immediately if they ever got power. And without Manchin and Sinema, they would have done it the last.
Would you be open to endorsing someone primarying Marjorie Taylor Greene given her latest statements?
Well, it depends on who runs against her. I mean, I'm no longer much of a fan because I disagree with her policy. When she said that, going to foreign countries, bringing back trillions of dollars is not important. Do you think I want to go and be on an airplane for 20 hours? Some of you were with me. 22 hours to be exact, travel and then get off and make a speech and get people to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in our country. I'd rather do it without having to go, but if you didn't go, you wouldn't be able to have that kind of result. As an example, Malaysia, if you look at Thailand, I stopped a war in Thailand and Cambodia. If I didn't go to that region, I probably wouldn't have been able to stop that war. That war would have been very costly in terms of lives, but even costly in terms of us.
Are you meeting with Indiana lawmakers next week? Are you meeting with lawmakers from Indiana next week on
Not that I
redistricting?
know,
or-
I might be, I don't know. They will, I guess they're making a decision as to whether or not they want to gain for the Republican Party one or two more. By the way, I will say this. I heard one or two more seats. I heard that a big lawsuit will be taking place, will be taking place concerning the California hoax, where they're trying to get 5 more seats. And California is one of the most dishonest elections ever. They send out tens of millions of ballots to people all over the place. Many of those people get 2 and 3 ballots, and they come back. California is a disgrace on voting, and they're doing something that is very illegal. So we will be suing California on the 5 seats.
The Department of Justice will be?
The Department of Justice, yes.
You're meeting
Being
with,
headed by the Department of Justice.
you're meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince next week. Tell us
More
about
than
the,
meeting, we're honoring Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince. Yes.
what are your goals for the meeting? Have you decided whether to sell F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia? Are you going to do that?
Well, they want to buy a lot of jets. We make the best jets. We make the best missiles. You saw that when we took out the nuclear capability of Iran. No, for 22 years they wanted to do that. No president had the guts to do it. We did it, and Iran is a different place. By the way, Iran wants to negotiate a deal too. Everybody wants to negotiate with us now. If we didn't have military strength, if we didn't rebuild our military in my first term, and now we continue to do it, Biden dissipated it by giving a chunk to the Taliban. Not a good idea.
So, sorry.
But you know what? The good news is it was a lot, but relatively very little.
So, yes to the jets, or you're not sure yet?
I'm looking at that. They've asked me to look at it. They want to buy a lot of 35, but they want to buy actually more than that fighter jets, yeah.
Will the Abraham Accords be a part of that conversation? Perhaps
Who?
getting
What?
the Abraham Accords, getting Saudi Arabia.
The Abraham Accords will be a part. We're going to be discussing. I hope that Saudi Arabia will be going into the Abraham Accords fairly shortly. We've had tremendous interest in the Abraham Accords since we put Iran out of business. Okay? Thank you much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Caroline.
I wasn't planning on having this Trump speech. It just opened up YouTube and it was live. What happens is that they have this rare audio only lives And I usually don't watch them because the audio sucks. But now I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that before I actually start with my live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. So over the last 24 hours, I think the whole market, it's been a little, sucking, as far as price and sentiment. We've seen that. But here's a message.
Right, if you can't handle volatility, stay out of cryptocurrency and don't bother. But go into treasuries where you're going to have zero volatility, and you're going to click away at 3% returns. Go have a great time doing that, and I'll see you in 10 years. Right, if you can't handle volatility, stay out of cryptocurrency and don't bother. But go into treasuries where you're going to have zero volatility, and you're going to click away at 3% returns. Go.
Yeah, I mean, as we see our XRP right now, last couple of hours, we've seen a pretty nice $2.23 again. BTC going to the $94,000, right? And Ethereum under $3,100, right? What does that mean, everybody? The question is, are we going lower, or is this the bottom? That's the big question. I'll tell you. I am aware that I have to keep some cash on the side just in case we do have another major liquidation event or just more pain in the market. I'm aware of that. Each and every one of us here listening, we all have to do our own due diligence and buy as much as we are willing to lose. Not as much as an influencer or YouTuber, or like what you call him, influencer, scammer, because that's the nickname you give us a lot. Only the haters, of course. But only what you are willing to lose. Honestly, right now, for everything that we've seen, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. We could be going absolutely much worse. I'm happy that basically all institutions and even the government and us and the SEC, like, they all have our backs. They all have our backs right now. I don't feel alone. I don't feel like our industry is just left alone. Our industry is getting respect. Then why are we collapsing, or why are we dumping, or why are we crashing, or why are we selling, right? Well, it just comes to show, have you ever just stopped and thought about this? Have you ever considered the following that I'm about to say right now? Pause for a second. Pause. Many retail are not selling. Many retail are buying or holding. Okay? Then here's a question, or here's my assumption. Then why, if retail is still holding and buying and believing, why are we seeing red candles? Well, the reason is because most of the crypto is not held by retail. It's not held by retail. What are you trying to say, Oscar? What I'm trying to say is that your 1,000 XRP, your 10,000 XRP, your 100,000 XRP, your 200,000 XRP, your 1 Bitcoin, your 2 Bitcoin, your 10 Bitcoin, your 10 Ethereum, your 50 Ethereum is nothing compared to what the big, mega, fat, juicy whale suits have. And when they sell, nothing gets on their way. So, someone says, stocks better than crypto. It is the price that we have to pay, ladies and gents. It's the price that we have to pay. 5% or so is retail. Yes, absolutely. Like, maybe not 5%, right? I think I'll have to check for sure. But this one is better. All is your fault, Oscar. I love that one, Tyler. Thank you, bro. I love it. Anybody else? Any haters? Come on, man. Where are the haters? This is your time to shine, haters. Come on. Come on, man. Don't be shy. I miss you guys. You know why I like my haters? Because they focus on winners. And I focus on winning. That's why I like them. You need them. Once you have some, you know you're doing well. Once you have some, there's actually people, instead of working on themselves, they're worried about you. That is the greatest level of adoration. I mean, I don't know. It's just incredible, everybody. You're going to do something meaningful in your life. You're going to do something extremely well in your life, and there's going to be people who want to agree with you. But you know what's better? When we are ripping to the moon and FOMO comes in, and we are here with 7,000 people live, man. Live. 7,000 to 10, because I've been there before. We had 11,000 people once. I'll be like, where are all my millionaires? Where are all the XRP Army millionaires? Because we made it. We survived, fam. We survived. And there's a lot of people who are going to raise their hands. It's true. David in the house. Welcome, buddy. Happy to see you. Very good. Man. You sold your soul for altcoins. I like altcoins for sure. I'm buying some good ones. I mentioned many times ago, many times ago. All right, fam. Very good. I like this. For sure, I like it. Drop a like, guys, and consider subscribing to the channel. Let everybody come in for sure. We have some time here. It's a Friday. It's a time where I think a lot of people for sure want to get an escape from reality and go and party and drink and everything else. And only a few percentage of the population, at 0.000000001% is here watching with me. So consider yourself early. Very, very early, right? It's just the reality of our industry, guys. President Trump signed an executive order removing tariffs on beef, coffee, and other goods to lower grocery cost. Because tariffs, yep, you pay it. You pay them. So doing this is smart to get some political points. I get it. Eric Trump is one of those that now he is the face of crypto also here in the United States. And he said many times, buy the dips. And what happens a lot of the time, since that it goes down and people, of course, get frustrated and mad. It happens. Michael Saylor, of course, he posted a couple hours ago. Let's come to Michael Saylor right here. Michael Saylor said, we bought Bitcoin every day this week. And HODL, that is a picture that it's been everywhere here. Now, when you see a picture, of course, there's a burning ship. Not only burning, but I would assume that is about to sink. If it's burning, with that, it kind of reminds me to the Titanic, right? So, HODL, even him, let's go to his wallet. You want to see some pain? You want to see some struggle? He changed it. Because he used to have another wallet where we would see exactly how much per. Yeah, I haven't been on this wallet in a while. There was another type of wallet that I will always show you. Yeah, it's not the same. Well, I'll have to find the other one. Okay, here. Wait. There it is. It's this one. So the last time he bought was November 11. So November 10. He bought 487 Bitcoin at 102. And he bought on November 3rd, on October 27, on October 20th. Look at this. This guy is losing in at least, oh my. Wow. Look at this. He started buying in May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's all above $100,000. And right now, the price of Bitcoin, we're looking at around 95,000. So he has some losing positions, a lot of losing positions, right? but he's not gonna sell everybody. And there were some FUD posts like Michael Saylor selling. Look, Michael Saylor selling. When I woke up, I saw that, and I'm like, really? Look, look, look. This one. This is a complete false statement. And look, there's even an X comment here. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy just started selling Bitcoin for the first time in 2 years. And here, MicroStrategy moving. He's moving, not selling. It's not selling Bitcoin, just internal transfer. Ignore the FUD. See that? You see that? So the manipulation goes both ways. People want to make it seem that it's the end of the world. People want to make it seem that, oh man, that's it, it's over. Exactly when people see it as it's over, exactly when you can smell and savor that blood on the streets and everybody's panicking, what are we supposed to be doing? Let me hear it in the comments, guys. What are we supposed to be doing? Buying. Or you want to wait for the FOMO when everything is skyrocketing and even as stupid people can make money in crypto because it just goes only up? Classic. Classic people. I've seen many of those. Buy the fear, 100%. Andy, what's up, everybody? Thank you, bro. Please don't launch another ETF. Please don't want more ETF. I don't want more ETF. Man, bro. It happens, you know. Planets in the house. What's up, JB? Kevin in the house. We got a lot of admins today. You know, I didn't know about going live today, but I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and have a good time. Why not? Honest question, Oscar. With all the great news back to back, why the dump? We wanted an ETF out. We got it, and it's a dump. Yeah. I just mentioned a couple, minutes ago that retail is not in charge of crypto, bro. The way I see it is that ever since 2024, I've seen a lot of institutions come into the space. We didn't have that in 2021. In 2021, it was held by, of course, some big whales, but mostly was changed by retail. Makes sense because that was us. Now it's heavily held by whales at the level of institutions and ETFs and market makers, asset managers, that retail, although we try, I'll tell you this, the effect influencers have in the market has diminished for the good. I wasn't at that level, and I wasn't just selling my soul to anything, of course, everything. But there were some terrible content creators back in the day that they will just absolutely sell their souls. And these are not like humans or people who are dogs like myself. No. These are the real influencers, not undoxed and only exposed. So these were, obviously nobody knew who they were, but they were just blatantly lying and just pumping their bags and selling on their holders. So it was bad, back in the day. There was a lot of manipulation, like easier manipulation, to a point that, at this point right now, I think the market can identify who is real or not. If you're not real, if you're just selling and scamming and rug pulling people, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Easy, bro. No matter, even if you are on docs, I mean, they're gonna find you. They're gonna really try to find you. But it wasn't like that back in the day. Oscar, tell him we need this to decouple from Bitcoin. ETF is tanking and we hold him better. Pop Smoker, good to see you, buddy, and welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome. Helping and more to come soon to help decouple. When XRP, Neil, brother, welcome aboard. Hey, Oscar, why don't you tell everybody your prediction? I've said it like many times, many times. Oscar, when XRP makes us all rich, are you going to host a huge celebration? Maybe not. Not exactly when it happens, but maybe later. Like it's not in my priority list right now, because there's already an event that I'm gonna go and have a great time with my XRP fam called Ripple Swell and the XRP. What is it called? The XRP event. It's in Vegas. I forgot the name. Somebody help me, please. But yeah, those are the two, and there's more. There's more for sure. Oof. Tell people to hold and watch it go to $1 soon. The ones who say XRP is pumping, they're the ones who are dumping. I'm never selling. My man. Thank you, TJ. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Appreciate that a lot. Guys, TJ is posting about our BTCC special, the 2000 XRP competition. Those who are interested, when I talk to my exchange sponsors or partners and the people that I know face to face, because I met some of them in Singapore. I knew them from Dubai as well, and they understand that it's tough, right? And even for them, it's tough. The market is obviously not showing the greatest times, but even in this, even in levels like this ones, we can come out a better trader, come out a better investor. Because look. I mean, let's just cut the. You know what? Let's just cut it. If you really want to become a true good trader, a true good investor, you have to go through some market chaos at some point. I already went through that one. The 2022 bear market, the Luna, FTX, the crypto liquidation. That was the most recent one. But that one, although it was the huge level of liquidations, it didn't have the same effect as the other ones, right? This was like crypto related. The other ones had more implications. That's the way I see it. Then China banning had also some snowball ripple effects. What we're seeing right now, and I'm seeing it a lot. Let me kind of go ahead and show you Bitcoin. There's been some great posts on Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find it here. Exactly this one. What it's basically saying is that we have seen a 20% retracement before the next leg up. You see that? There's another way. I'm going to open it even better for you guys so you can even appreciate this. So this is kind of like a great way to see it right there. There you go. If we follow the math, if we follow the pattern, if we follow the past, right? There's really sometimes not a great reason as to why we're dumping. You ask me, why are we dumping? I wish I could know 100%, although I have a lot of great ideas. I have an idea as to why, but it's normal. It's absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. I mean, that goes back to 2023? Okay, that's 2024. This is when Trump won. Yeah, this is Trump won. So just see it as Uncle Donnie. I know, right? Make a room for homies. Sure, bro. I mean, exactly the way you said it. Exactly feel it. The way you said it. Like, you now have another chance to buy a Bitcoin under $100,000. How many of you wanted that? How many of you wanted another chance for under 100,000 Bitcoin? You got it. You got it right now. Literally right here. Literally right here. Because if there's one thing that happens in crypto all the time, guys, every single day, like everything can change in just a few hours. In a few hours, everybody becomes bullish, and then bearish, and then bullish, and then bearish. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. So I try to keep myself in the bullish side, right? Knowing that as I'm accumulating more and more and more, at some point, it's all going to pay off really, really well. It's just as simple as it is. What a great conversation we're having, man. That's exactly what I wanted, just to chill with the community. Some people might see it as it's the end of the world, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The Giga Chat has spoken.
Had, but basically, unfortunately, for the last several years now, the industry has been operating in a fog. They couldn't really figure out what the SEC was looking for and how this new technology could be accommodated within the ancient rules that applied to paper filings and paper stock certificates and that sort of thing. We're talking about now, digital assets and that sort of thing on chain. So what we need to do is focus on the basics again, what are securities and whatnot, and then collaborate with our sister regulators, most importantly, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So if you divide the taxonomy that I outline, and obviously this is my views, and we'll work through notice and comment rulemaking ultimately on all of this, but if you have digital commodities, digital collectibles, digital tools, and finally tokenized securities, and the first three are not securities, and tokenized securities obviously are. So the rub comes in defining, what is and is not a security, and so that's what we are, setting out to do.
I honestly, the way I see it is that once we have the perfect good storm, the one that we all speak about, and the one that I hear Jake speak about as well, like once everything aligns, I think that's honestly the bottom line to crypto at this time today. Because I see that it's all moving at different time zones, but it's all moving, right? Building. And at some point, it's just all gonna sync, click, and it can all just help us launched. Because we're gonna have rules of the road, regulation, clarity, volume, liquidity, partners, exchanges, DeFi, stable coins, even RWA for real estate too, and tokenization for stocks even. I think right now it's just a period of building at the end of the day. Building. Let's just build the bridge. Let's just build the road. Let's just build the whole castle. So it's big enough, strong enough, ready enough to welcome the next wave, the next ocean of retail. That's it. And us, we just happen to be in the building site, just trying to survive, and something fails, breaks, and we have to rebuild it, and this, and retail is just watching from the sidelines right now. Retail is just looking at us saying, is it ready? No? Okay. They come back, is it ready? No? Okay. One day it will be, is it ready? Yes, it's ready. It's ready. And they're like, okay, you said it's ready. Because you have to remember, they came for FTX and they got hurt. Some people are not coming back because of Tom Brady and all those big stars and Sam, SBF. That was 2022. That was 2022, man. Hey, just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents. 1 year in on XRP, and I continue add and hold. Actually, somewhat same, bro. I do have a little bit over a year adding my XRP, but it's been a nice journey to say the least. Thank you, Oscar Tokayo. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. And I'm surprised, I really am so excited with our community. We're a bunch of us right here, DJs, and that sometimes we go to 3,000, 4,000, but it always happens, right? That I don't know if as I end the live eventually and we go to bed and by the time I go to bed, it's now going down lower, right? It could happen. It could happen, right? Could totally happen. Right now you see Ethereum, but if we go to a XRP price, still the same, right? Not much has changed. So we'll just have to keep an eye on everything, man. We have to keep an eye on everything. You know. M2 is exploding. The money supply, global M2 money supply. Crypto, which I like this. Of course, for BTC, we're going on a descending wedge. Those descending wedges, I have it right here. And the descending wedge, bullish wedge, and bearish wedge. So, point is, we'll find our breakthrough in due time, everybody. You want to follow us along with the latest info, because sometimes we post a lot on X. Make sure you follow me on X, everybody, at Real Oscar Ramos 1. We have 104,000 followers. As soon as you follow, I'm sure that you're going to get hit with many impersonators. So just be very careful. Please be very careful. I'm always trying to be a little funny, and I posted this 6 hours ago. Only one man can save us. Guys, you guys remember how we were like, once Gensler leaves, we are going to pump. And then once the case is over, we're going to pump. Once. Sometimes it doesn't happen when we want, Sometimes it doesn't happen when we want. But we are still here and we're not leaving. What's up, JB? I know, right? Only paper hands go out and sell. Trading XRP is like a hot potato until that hot potato goes to $4. And then everybody's going to be, yeah, I love XRP. Oh, yeah, XRP. And XRP. Yeah, I mean, I do understand it's obviously going to be something. Pretty interesting. But yeah, for sure, super, super, super welcome. And there's a lot of hits at everything right now, I mean.
What happened is the value of your money falls 4 or 5% a year. That's inflation. Falls 4 or 5% a year, and the economic growth has been about 2% a year. So it's about 7% a year growth, and that means everything doubles in 10 years. The value of your money falls in half every 15 years. So you got to make twice what you're making today in 15 years to stay even. And so stock market, so Bitcoin's been amazing, obviously. What happened is the value of your money falls 4 or 5%.
Ron Barron, who's this guy? I don't know him. Okay, just a big BC guy. Yep. The billionaires, the big whales. Look at what he said.
Market, so Bitcoin's been amazing, obviously.
Bitcoin's been amazing, obviously. $45 billion in paper. Not bad. We like that. So if the billionaires are buying, I mean, I think we're not gonna be bad, terrible in this environment. So obviously retail gets hit big, but we should be fine. We should be fine. Well, my friends, just a quick one. We had a nice listening from the president. Obviously, a lot of questions about Epstein, tariffs, the 2000, China, and more. Shutdown that is no longer Democrats, Dems, and more. He's gonna be leaving back home, and then he's gonna come back on Monday or Sunday. So, yeah, he's relaxing a little bit after this whole shutdown thing. So next week, I mean, there might not be much going on this weekend. Bears and sellers could take that chance to bring the price down, bring the price lower. Could be. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow and the weekend. But by now, the latest, guys. I think we all been updated with all the goodness that Ripple is bringing and XRPL and all different cryptos down Bember. Guys, man, I'll be the first one to say. I'll be the first one to say that I wasn't expecting such a hurtful Q4. We've been here this whole year, day in, day out, day in, day out. So you think that it's tiring and stressful or just a terrible time, in crypto? Just remember that. Here, your friend, it's been pumping videos and content for you every single day for 200 plus days, 300 days or so, which I am grateful because this is what I love to do. So I could tell you from experience that I've seen all kinds of emotions over the last, I don't know how many days. The only really fun that we had was at the beginning of the year and July. Why? Here it is why. Before Trump got confirmed. How do you call it? I forgot the name. Sworn in. There you go. Before Trump got sworn in, because once he was the president, price was coming down, right? So he got sworn in. Those first 20 days, perfect, and then you remember the price came down. And then the other one was the Genius Act. Genius Act came. We had a nice rally to all-time high of XRP and then down. Yep. So if you guys are here, that is what the name of this video, this live is. XRP millionaires are made now. So guys, thank you so very much for coming to the space. Let's go ahead and end this with the poll. We got a 1.4 thousand votes, so thank you guys for those coming. XRP is going lower, much lower, 43%. So you guys are saying lower, and okay, we'll see. We'll see for sure. Soon, elected, sworn in, yeah. So it was pretty nice. It was like magic. Once he got elected, like not elected, it was sworn in. Elected was in November. But he was like, raise your right hand and, repeat after me. Hours later, bro, price came down. And that's it. Until July, and then July went up, and then we're just going down the downtrend. We need to find the bottom so we can start running back up. And once we start running back up, the trend is broken, and we finally get to see another rally. See you next time, everybody. God bless you all. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Let's go. Links down below, guys, and join us on BTC to get those chances and welcome bonuses. Any questions, let us know. I'll be here in soon. Thanks, TJ, JB, and all of my awesome admins. Thank you, guys.